let us see. What is the behavior of a true believer? Number one, the behavior of a true believer in a time of problems, in a time of sins, is that he will not feel comfortable until he fixes it. Write it down. Number one, a true believer who is committing sin, he will not feel comfortable. His conscience will tell him, I am living in the life of sin. I'm living the life of sin. He will not feel comfortable. That is number one. But there are people today, they say that they are Christian. They say that they have the Holy Ghost. Because they have been taught, when you are baptized of the Holy Ghost, you will still go to heaven. So they can still sin. Because they will go to heaven. They will go to heaven because the Holy Ghost, it is the confirmation that they will go to heaven. It's true. But they are sinning. They are sinning. Peacefully they are sinning because they were taught that even though they sin, they will still go to heaven because they have been saved by the Holy Ghost. It's a lie. Such a person, my brother, my sister, does not have the Holy Ghost. It did not have the Holy Ghost. This is new. I know it is new to some pastors. If today you and I will say, the Holy Ghost has sealed us to the redemption, to the day of redemption, it is true. But the question is, do you really have the Holy Ghost? Do we really have the Holy Ghost? If yes, the first son here, in the time of sin, we will not feel comfortable. Why? Because the Holy Ghost in us will not feel comfortable when you and I, we are behaving wrong. When you and I, we are sinning, the Holy Ghost which is inside us will never be happy. Brother James, do you understand? This is for all of us, including myself, and especially to those men of God who are preaching heresies. The first question you need to ask to your members or to yourself, do you really have the Holy Ghost? Do we really have the Holy Ghost? If yes, sin will not be our portion. Sin will not be our friend. In your conscience, in my consciousness, I will discover that I am not doing the right thing. I will just be praying to God, God, help me to get out of this situation. I know what I'm doing, it is wrong, but I can't afford. I can't afford. Help me, Lord. Only you can take me out of this situation. Only you, Lord, help me. I want, like Apostle Paul said it, I want what I am doing. It is not what I want to do. I want to do right things, but I'm doing wrong things. The wrong things I'm doing, I don't want it, but that is what I'm doing. That is a true believer. The consciousness is telling him that he's not doing the right things. How can you say that I am already saved, so I can commit sin? Sin will not take me to hell. No. Meaning that such a person did not receive the Holy Ghost. Because the Holy Ghost releases the fruit of God to manifest for the glory of God. Number two, as a secret that you and I will have the Holy Ghost. In the time of a problem, we have the Holy Ghost. In the time of a sin, we do have the Holy Ghost. How will we behave? Number one, we said, we will not feel comfortable. In that particular period of a sin, we will still cry to God to help us to get out of that situation. Until God will do it. Number two, He will not delay to reconcile. Brother James, do you understand? Don't forget this. This is very important. I know this is blessing many people. If you do not value this, you're going to see on YouTube, on Facebook, how good children of God, they see this message as a message of holiness. This is very important. Number two, he will not delay to reconcile. When he knows that he has committed sin, he has a problem with a brother and sister, he will try to fix it. He will find a way faster. He will be faster to fix it. Why? Because he's not feeling comfortable. He's not feeling comfortable. So what he's going to do is to try to resolve the issue. He's trying to resolve that sin. He's trying to reconcile with his brother. He will try to reconcile with Jesus Christ of Nazareth. But you see, you and I, what we do, we know that we have done wrong. We know that we have wronged God, but we continue doing wrong peacefully and declaring that we are already saved. Supporting those men of God that are telling you that you are already saved. Sin will not take you to hell. And you support them because it is pleasing your heart. It's a deception, my brother, my sister. I'm telling the truth. I'm telling the truth, it's a deception. The first question you need to ask, do you have the Holy Ghost? If really you have the Holy Ghost, number one, you will not feel comfortable when you are sinning. Number two, when you know that you have wronged your brother, your sister, you will be fast to reconcile. You will not delay because your spirit and the Holy Ghost in you will not feel comfortable. Number three, he will clearly understand that life is threatened. Meaning that in the position of a sin, you will be thinking, what will happen if right now I die? What will happen? Because I am right now in sin. If I die, what will happen? So that person is going to feel threatened. He will feel like things are not right. I need to fix them well. Because anything may happen. Number four. Humility will lead him to seek for forgiveness. Forgiveness. The Holy Ghost in him will make him humble to seek for forgiveness. I was talking with a man of God who told me that why must I ask for forgiveness to God? Dangerous message. He said, why must I ask for forgiveness to God? Jesus Christ has already forgiven us. Wrong message, abomination, deception, liar. It's very bad. If really you and I will have the Holy Ghost, there are things that we will not do by the grace of God. The Holy Ghost is going to put us in a position where we will not fall into a pit. If we fall into the pit, the Holy Ghost is going to help us come out. Why? Because our consciousness will help us fix things. We will not feel comfortable, number one. Number two, we will not delay to reconcile or to fix it. Number three, we will understand that in that position of sin, things are not right. I'm not right now. I have to fix it fast. Number four, to end here, humility. We will be humble to seek for forgiveness. Example, King David, Psalm 51. Psalm 51, verse 11. King David said, don't cast out your spirit from me. Don't cast out your presence from me. King David sinned, but he did not feel comfortable with that sin. King David is a man according to God's heart. So the behavior of King David is the behavior of Christians in the new covenant. The way King David was relating with God is the same way you and I will need to relate, because it is a man according to God's heart.